Today you are watching the conversation with Belvy K, and we will be hosting someone along Hore. He's not a stranger from this platform. Who host the business talk. Mo eleng gore o interview batho ba leng gore they have upcoming businesses over for exposure, but they also encourage other people ba eleng gore they want to move with the same path. So today we'll be having the conversation with Donald Dee, as others will call him Mr. Ntini. Without any waste of time, Mr. Ntini, we are welcoming you here. More the conversation. Mo eleng gore we are just going to have a conversation. You we just want to touch the problems still on maybe face Mogalakwena. The problems still on maybe other people. Maybe they don't have a platform to speak about them. We are also going to motivate people maybe in the educational path. Mr. Ntini, without any waste of time, I'm going to give you this chance or just introduce yourself to the people, because Mr. Ntini on the show. So I don't know, my Facebook is Donald Dee. So I just want you to take this moment and introduce yourself. Mr. Ntini, welcome to the conversation. With
Sure,
Belvy K.
sure, man. Thanks for having me. I nearly said thanks for having us, but thanks for having us.
Yeah, both Donald Dee and Mr. Ntini.
Yeah. Because I'm a man who has different heads. But yeah, I think people who really know me, people that grew up with me, they know me as Madoni.
Okay.
And those who will say Madoni, they really know me. People who call me Donald are people who really don't know me. And I think Miss Dini comes with age. So I think it's that trans from Madoni to Donald
to Donald.
to Mr. Ntini, which I think everybody they call me Mr. Ntini, and there's people who call me Witintini.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, this is me, Kena Madoni. Yeah, people who know me as Madoni. People who grew up with me, because Gela, they know me as Madoni.
Let's start it in this way. Re bolele ka the Madoni part.
Yeah.
Whereby bele sa gola le bitwa Madoni. Bele go tshilele ngwana mokhutamang. If ever there's any other aspirations maybe you failed to achieve in the later back to the background and speak about Madoni before we go to Donald Dee and Mr. Ntini. Let's start it there.
Yeah, but as Madoni, well, there's I think growing up, we came from Northwest,
Okay.
and we settled here, I think in mid 90s, I think 95, 96, 97. I think we came, and then we settled to Hospital View, and I went to school, Komakamaleka, completed high school, my higher primary there, went to EDL Rampola.
Okay.
And we went to EDL Rampola, then EDL Rampola in Frat Ledwaba, were in the same yard. Then and yeah, life happened, and when we got to high school, there was SCO, there was school, and I think I was surrounded by people by Majita Nadala sports.
Okay.
Or one Majita can Nadala softball, and my friend Captain who is still my friend to date. I think our friendship dates back. I think couple 98 when we were and I don't really know where Madoni part or Madoni name came about, but yeah, I grew up and we wanted to be naughty like any other child.
Okay.
You know, like any other boy, we really wanted to do things that boys do. But because I was surrounding, I think we had Sidupe, we had who else did we have? We had a guy called Vincent. But we had this group of guys by long we were hanging out with, and Henry Docha. But but we would be singled out.
Okay.
And we would be punished for that. Those who've been there, so those who would go Komatlemeng, when we go, we would be found or
Yeah.
and this grounded us. I remember our teachers, Bomir Hosana Mpiri, who is late, may his soul rest in peace. And we had wonderful teachers, Bo Miniar Machipa, Bo Miniar Marco Brajo. We had wonderful teachers who always called us to odd. Never bet.
Yeah.
And we had, we were really raised well. Goli as a principal, we were scared of him, but he raised us well. Who else am I forgetting? Menir Mabusela, Menir Jerry Mabusela. These are guys who raised us. Koskolong, and we went on to complete our studies. I remember when I was one of the teachers, Menir Som. Menir Som was my class teacher, and the other time he met me on campus, and I went to him because I saw him first. And
Which campus?
Go UL.
Okay.
Yeah.
This time go UL.
Yes, and then he said, "I knew you would be here." So yeah, these are teachers by longer. They've contributed a lot into my life, into my studies. I later on moved to Gojela. I know Minir Slapelo, Minir Mapel. Mapel has always been known as Mapel, and he is my bra. Mem Ramdipa raised as well. Memtef, I cannot forget Memtef, Mem Trametane, Mem Ramutla, Memunkuna. But you raised me well. Yeah.
So I want to know in this part, you mentioned in as a normal child would go school.
Yeah.
I think people can agree with me. Because schooling is either you were the bully or you were being bullied.
Yeah.
So I just want to know from your side, or were you the bully or the one doing the bullying stuff?
I was a nice guy. I was really nice.
You never bullied anyone?
No, I was never a violent guy. I hanged out with nice guys. Another guy we hanged out with, Marvin Tefu. And these are guys Baba Dalangs of ball. I think they came with the discipliners of ball. Or when these guys were playing for junior teams, they are spikes. Or one. So I was never a bully. I think I don't remember well. But I was never a bully. I was never bullied. Because we were those ones about Pasa.
Okay. The disciplined ones.
Well, not really, Mara. Nere Pasa.
Okay. So if there is a child out there or maybe at school or a subject to bullying, because now how I deal with the bullying about when you come to me and you bully me, I make it a norm. Go to embrace or so I want to know from Lena if ever there is a child who goes school. Besides that, you go and report because that's an obvious thing. The bully must go and report. But what they miss is that report. That thing is still in me.
Yeah.
So I want to know for a child out there encourage in a way of dealing with that part after no report school see maybe through the disciplinary committee. I want to know that child. I can't tell if it what is Manjwala Kamfang or be it a she or a he?
I think we tend to be reactive when we're dealing with issues of this nature because we want to deal with the survivor and not deal with the perpetrator because we're really not solving a problem. We had a fallout and they're dealing with the one who is crying, but they're not dealing with the
cause of the problem.
Yeah, I understand that. And I will come to answering the victim.
Okay.
But I think the perpetrator more. I think what we should really teach our kids, and it starts at home, what we should teach our kids is the impact of what we are doing, the impact of their action, to say you are going to bully. I think during COVID time, I want to believe it was during COVID time. There's a girl child who committed suicide, Covenda, and she was trending. I don't know if you remember. She was trending, and then
I think I remember the clip with the trend.
yeah, she committed suicide. She committed suicide because and if we don't teach Banabarena the impact, I think earlier this year, if not late last year, I read on Facebook there was a girl in Northwest saying she is on medication now. She's suffering from anxiety because she was being bullied as a child. You understand? And once we get to teach people the impact of their action and the negative impact of their action, she say, if you do this, this is how you are shaping up this person's life. Or one, and to a child who is being bullied, report it,
Okay.
and it will sound somehow to say fight back, but report it and then surround yourself with people by long or they will draw you away from these people. It is not your fault that you are being bullied. Report it, and when you report it, come a teacher and report it at home. And when a child is being bullied from home, take action, because my child cannot come home and say I am being bullied and I don't go to school.
Yeah, that's true. You need
Yeah,
to take
because
action.
I think what I will do is I will go to school and want to face the child. You understand? Because our kids need to know how we are defending them. And I will not deal with the situation violently, but me being there must know what once you touch my child, I am going to make an appearance. And
As a concerned parent.
you understand, as a parent, to say, you are not going to do this to my child.
Because I'm asking this thing, Majita, about some other parts, Ronaldo neglect, but bullying is one of the things still on it might lead to kids no longer falling in love this school. So I wanted to know they must make it a point, or after the reporting stuff and whatever, make sure that you detach yourself from those people.
Yeah.
Why because of I'm worried. I think if ever a level back then, and again it goes back to our generations, we change time to time.
Yeah.
But I would like to say back then, it was easy for me to believe that education will save my life.
Yeah.
But now it's very, very difficult for this generation. What do you think is the cause for it? I don't know if I should say they are losing the interest, or maybe it's because of the environment or what. I just want to know your views on that part. What do you think causes this? So many kids lose interest in the educational field.
It's how we portray soft life.
How we portray soft life.
Yeah, I think there's a thug out there who shows the beautiful part of soft life, and they build perceptions because we know the money or these guys or these girls, this is how they live, and this is how they spend money, or one, and then everyone thinks it is for all of us, and sometimes you hear how negativity is being glorified, or when some girls they are sex workers, they will come out and say, I'm making money through this means. You understand? So
Okay.
do you need school for that? No, you don't. Or one, and there are guys they will come up baba trader. Or one, and there's no education part of it, which is very much important. Or one, and now you want to do it because it is as easy as ABC. Or one, and there's life along with people who middle class people, middle class guys, by long order, they started working and then they are able to afford a TSI
Yes.
or one, and they don't really show. They show, we only see end result, and no one talks about the process.
process,
Or one, or I've been to school. I had to go through this and that, and I think we are helping to bridge that gap through this media, your conversation, and what we do, Mogalakwena TV, to say there's a process. That is why when we bring business people, they will tell us where they started and how they started, or one, and the gradual growth of business. Understand? And then it says it is a process, and from the process you learn so much. It develops you as a person. It develops how you think, how you relate with other people.
I've always wanted to ask this question ever since ke le bona mo Mogalakwena TV to
Yeah.
say you help people in terms of exposure. I don't want to lie, like I don't know if other people they see the way you want to go on, like to
Yeah.
take someone along or he or she's doing something, you know, or others they don't know, and la mutlisha mo atlhalosa maybe their strategies, their
Yeah.
struggles and whatever. So I wanted to know, does this guy have businesses, or you try to have business and then you fail, then you realize that if you can reconnect with other people, maybe the dream might come back. So I wanted to ask, do you have business, because of you're asking people about their business journey and stuff?
I wanted to say, well, well, I've tried businesses here and there, and they did not work out. I think it's different reasons that they did not work out. But what I'm doing with this show is I'm saying to, and this is what I needed, or one in my life. I needed someone who would say, I believe in you. And whether you're selling the banana and you're coming, I think if people were to review and say, this is the conversation we had last night or a few days before we came to the show, they will tell you things that we spoke about. One, and this is me saying, I care about you. This is me saying, you can do this. This is me saying, you can grow from here. I think, unfortunately, you would not be here, but I've recorded a few episodes with Gebuza being behind the camera, and you would see his reaction when we speak. You understand, and to be shocked and amazed by how this person is speaking about their business, how this person is carrying themselves, and how this person is knowledgeable about it. And we're here to give that platform. And back to your question, business. I still want to pursue business. I have a few businesses that are lined up. I'm not talking about them not because Kichaware ba lawyer,
They might still even the idea.
So yeah, but it's still in pipelines.
Okay.
Or one, but yeah, there is that thing in me, and I think more than anything, my business is business of talking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just like neutral man.
But when I'm not like you, that I love to talk that much. I want to believe, and these people don't know about me. And whenever I say it, people don't believe it. And a few people back this thing, they now see it. I'm a very shy person.
Really? I can't believe that.
I'm a very shy person. I'm a very shy person.
To me, you're just chilled, not shy.
I'm not really chilled. I get nervous every time I start a show. I'm nervous. When you sat here and when I was nervous.
That's a normal feeling, but
It's maybe it's normal, but I'm a very shy person.
Okay.
I sometimes keep quiet and I sometimes talk a lot. And I think that. And I know let me mention these people, but longer I know they're going to watch the show. I know Yolanda, Gaurelo, Tshepo, Sipho, Sesiske, they will be like, why do you lie when not shy?
Exactly, I'm
But
surprised.
I'm not. I'm a very, very shy person.
Okay.
Believe me, I am.
So which means before you could take this journey of being a speaker behind the mic, you had a certain aspiration in life to say maybe Belinyako pursue a certain career. Belinyako go bang because if you are very shy, come call it the play like I will just accept the reaction, but I don't believe.
Yeah, well.
I don't believe you're shy. So just tell us what before you become this person who's behind the mic talking about other people's businesses, giving them exposure. I'm one person no longer appreciate miracle. I just hope that you don't give up so that other people they might come. So I want to know before labor behind the mic, shy. You were a shy person. In life.
I grew up cooking, one, and it covers that. You like exposed and are grown and raised in a way where you always or sometimes you find yourself in front of people and you develop techniques without you knowing, or you developing techniques. You develop means and ways of standing before people, and you don't shake. People are able to see high or sharp, but then when you know. So I grew up cooking. I grew up yeah, most of the time behind the mic with people babulela kudu. My friends that I grew up cooking, Jafta Manyatela, Papa Namudau, Sapo Madiba, who was here today, and many other guys. No longer I cannot mention you. Come on, but these are guys I grew up with Balongore. We would talk, we would be given an opportunity to preach, to be MC, to say a few, to speak for friends, or also there's always been that. And when I was growing up as a child, I wanted to be a doctor.
Okay.
Yeah, and when we got to high school, I went with Marvin Tefu when we were going to register with EDN. And there was class year, the commerce, there were two. The other one you wouldn't do business economics, then you would be doing typing. And so Nelly Marvin we went, and then Captain came after us, and then we went to study to commerce. And kaboom, the dream of being a doctor. And yeah, as we were going, I wanted IT because IT was something selling. It was an in thing then.
Yeah.
And
everyone was
everyone wanted to be doing IT, and yeah, I don't know what happened, but yeah, we are here today.
Life happened.
Yeah, life happened.
One of the important part, correct. So I want to know when in terms of church, it is village want to survive other temptations of life because of. The truth has to be told. But so I know we shy away from church. I don't know what might be the cause. Even me, I blame myself to say, I take time to go to church. So I want to know more. Or village wanting to be this positive human being. People get inspired just watching you speak, the way you move. We're not saying people don't make mistakes, but I believe that church has had an impact.
Sure.
So how that impact, how did it impact your life?
But I think I'm going to church tomorrow, and I'm taking you with me.
Approved.
So I'm taking you to church Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We have conference cooking. You are coming with me.
I'm going to church.
Yeah. But how has it saved me? I don't want to believe I was saved by church, because there's so many things that we do and we are not saved. We may be going to church but not saved.
Really?
There's so many churches, and when people go to church, was now a personal relationship with God. You understand? And it is that relationship that keeps you. Now that I have a working relationship with you, I cannot say certain things about you. I cannot do certain things that will hurt you or harm you. because
true.
we have a relationship, and I have a relationship with God, accepted Christ. And when we were go high school, and I will always say this, I think every time that we get to speak about our journey along with Gebuza, we will always refer to the SCO that we had Koskolo, because there was church at home, and there was church Koskolo. So if you say Madoni, people will say Madoni Omzalwane.
Okay.
You understand? So because there was that, and it was something that it was a proud thing. And then the Rebo brother.
Yeah, I remember the term.
Yeah. So the Rebo brother, and it has helped us, because then we were clean. I had before I developed this hairstyle, I had nice hair. Nakidora the ice can cut, nice trimmed,
Oh, those
clean. Can I lay yellow duster to polish my shoes? Yeah, but being a Christian, being a born again Christian has saved me. Of course, along the way we fell by the wayside, but God has always been good. He always takes us back and receive us well. And you're saying Baswaba no. Why are you saying Baswaba no? Baswaba Khalen, you were not even there.
Wasaba no, like yeah, Wasaba no. I mean,
Yeah, but then we had the very same challenge. I think there were other people no longer they would do certain things, but yeah, I think it is not. To sum it up, it was just by the grace of God that I am where I am today, and you're saying things that you're saying about me, or I'm inspiring people. Am I?
You are. Truth to be told, you are. Like, you can inspire people from a distance, ne?
Sure.
Baskavanali a chance to speak. I'm speaking for them. I know.
Yeah.
Like I've developed this thing ever since I get on this teaching field.
Yeah.
You will find that you are my role model, but I was like, how? Because I'm not even proud of myself yet.
Yeah.
Then you get more realize that things that you do, you will think that people are not watching you, but
Sure,
we are watching you from a distance, and that thing is helping us. There's a beginning in terms of Patiak record. It did play a major role, but later or through this or level brother and everything, we can say that it saves you from other things.
Yeah, quite a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to know on that part. And also, I'm starting to have this question to say, how difficult it will be for me to say, I know that I believe in God, but
Yeah.
if someone can come to me, I'm proper, can you give me proof or receipts of life that the spiritual kingdom of God does exist? I don't know what I will say.
Yeah.
So I want to know from Lena, such questions, if someone can come and ask me, do you believe in God? And I say yes, then I don't know, how do you prove or provide receipts of life that the spiritual kingdom does exist?
Sometimes you don't. If a person does not believe in God, does not believe in God.
Okay.
Remember, the Bible tells us that a fool says in his heart, God does not exist.
Okay.
And it is a personal thing. Issue of God is a personal thing, because we may go to church really together, but then you find your relationship or how you view God and how you relate to God is not the same. You understand? So it is very, very, very important. I want to believe it's very important that we have. If you do not believe God, you don't believe Him. If you believe He exists, if you believe it's there, then it's good for you. But we will continue to preach the gospel, to say there is God who is able to save people, there's God who is able to keep a man and to keep a woman and to keep a family.
That's true.
Yeah, but if you don't believe in God, it's okay. You don't believe in Him. We are not going to force. The Bible tells us that when we go preach and people reject us, we must dust our the dust of our shoes off and leave. But when people don't believe God, you don't believe in Him.
You can't force them to.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned it's a personal thing.
Yeah, and you want proof.
You can't have proof.
I am a living testimony. You understand? I am a living testimony. You want proof? Here I am.
Here's the proof.
Yeah, because remember, sorry, some of us come from a messed up life, bruh.
Yeah.
Waban, we come from, and we were talking about this the Gebuza. I always make reference about Gebuza to say, we are doing this, and we were in town. Now, in town we meet people, or people recognize us. Waban, and then they say we're doing a great job, and there are people who, they're not going to watch this show simply because I'm here, simply because you are here.
Yeah.
And they know you because and people, there's always been but and we come from poverty. We come from families mo longore go nyatšega batswadi ba rena, go nyatšega mokhukhu re dulang ka mo ona, go nyatšega the label that we are not wearing, go nyatšega how we appear. You understand? There's so much that when you look at us then, it was hopeless. You understand? And those who know us then and those who know us now, they will attest to say, but had it not been God, this boy wouldn't have been here. And there is so much that we've been saved from. And you want proof? Nah, I'm proof. I've been through so many things.
Yeah.
And I'm still here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lewelela, when you speak about the background chale na kamogolo go tšheng sekolong, you always mention this word Gebuza.
Yeah.
So I want to know the relationship between Lena le Gebuza.
Gebuza ke mogodišiše, ke mfana. Ke mogodišiše, na batla ka morago a rena ke re bafanas, are. But
Mr. Mogalakwena TV.
yeah, ke mfana.
Yeah. So I want to know from that, like, how was the relationship Lena growing up? How was it like?
It was like I said, Koko Krekeng really bo brother or one, and we came from different churches. Regula Hospital Vikamuk. So he stays ko blokong ya ka go dimo na ke dula ka mo blokong ya ka mo fase. And then in within Christian cycles, we would always conference we would always meet. Now you meet Gebuza ko servicing ya baswa ko Faith Mission on a Friday, during the week.
Yeah.
And you go to school on a SCO, MC, and he's going to preach. And
he's a preacher too.
Bruh.
This guy
No, this guy, when I introduced him to other people, when I introduced Gebuza to Apostle Lebelo, Mrs. Komocho, I said he is bishop because he was preaching just like Bishop T.D. Jakes.
Yeah,
so,
Brazil the physique.
And he was hard. He had this loud voice, and we used to hang out. We used to hang out as brass, Koskolong. We used to hang out, Korai, and I remember when Oledi Arego was still alive, Renan Sabidi Merola Roko puzzle counter. No, not happy.
Okay.
You understand? So this is the relationship, and we grew up and developed and Rahawana. Yeah, there was that thing, and we met. When did we meet again? But we met and we spoke about Mogalakwena, and I think if he had if we had a formal meeting, his first formal meeting on the table and chairs and drinks and food, Mogalakwena TV, he had that meeting with me. Okay. He had pictures. If you go, this guys, he's
a product.
Yeah, and I remember that, guys. Okay, so this other time we went to, Yeah. I was that first person. You say I was that first, and I remember when we were speaking about Mogalakwena TV, and sometimes Gebuzo doesn't answer your calls. Sometimes he'll tell you it was going to come back to you, and he told me, "Gore, ho ya ko nna, otla so." And I went to his house without me telling him. I woke up in the morning. Namela follow ke dula Mzumbana ka follow ke iting ya ga Madiba, and then ka tshwara taxi ka follow ga Khaba, and then I walked the way I'm buditseng gore ke tsamaye ka gona. Ge ke fitla ko yena nna le gausi le go tswa. Like, you understand at the timing, and I don't remember what happened thereafter. But this is the relationship that I have with him, and yeah, it is growing, and we are able to talk about things. Sometimes when you find us, we talk about much deeper things. We don't talk about Mogalakwena TV. We always remind each other of where we come from, and how we were raised. And thankfully, we don't carry ourselves the way we have always been, the way where we come from, or when it is different, and this is just a brotherhood at another level. And I know when I'm taking advantage because you're asking me about him.
Yeah.
When you ask him about me, he's going to tell you stuff. So chance when he comes here.
I'm going to ask him about this relationship.
Yeah.
Speaking of that part, the touch out about when he had the first formal meeting, you were there. So I'm assuming that since day one, refugee Mogalakwena TV, it go filter before it go filter matlong a rena ba re boning from Facebook.
Yeah.
You were there with him from day one. So I want to know, since that day till now, the kind of improvements are you proud of the mission, or we are still moving? Because right now, for me, we are perfect.
But this is not what we are seeing.
Okay.
And I'm speaking for him. We are not seeing things that you guys are talking about. We still think we are we're still navigating.
Okay.
We don't really but of course there is improvement, a very huge improvement. You see it from people and how people look at us and how people recognize us. You see it from us coming here every day.
Yeah.
I think amongst us, he's the only one who is working, and every day we are here. Whenever we are needed, I understand that. Whenever we are needed, we are here, and we make quite a lot of episodes. When we started with a camera, and we would pre-record. We had no laptops, no couches. We had society. I think if you go back to where we started, this is how we started. And but when we came here, the walls were pink, and we painted, and we had we had no one following Mogalakwena TV, and we started from zero. I think when we started as us following it, and now we're clocking 3.8. We are barely 3 months into it.
Oh, it's 3 months now.
Yeah, we're 3 months into this. It looks old because I'm old, and so so we need fresher blood. So to say no, it's like
we are here. The youth is here.
and people will greet you and say, "Hey, like hi malume, bafana jalo ka starting grootman." But I think we're progressing very well. I think maybe because we are too humbled to develop Maret, or wabana, and now you are seated here. How did we? But when we started, this screen was blank. yeah, we started from now. We have cordless mics, and we have. I think people who are watching. How is the production? Is it good? People who are watching from the production side of it, it is perfect, and we are encouraged. We are encouraged. We are very humbled. Um, Maybe one day we will wake up from a dream
Yeah.
to say, oh, this is what we've been building. So this is what we've been doing. But yeah, for now, if you give him Mike, no, he might not even say anything because I said it all.
Yeah.
And if he says it, he's going to repeat what I said because we still want to do more. We
Okay.
still want to have more. We want to vacate this seat, or when we don't even want to appear on camera.
Okay.
Because we are not that good for the camera. We believe
Good
there's
in which way?
Yeah, but there's people what we can put here because ours that's why he as a preacher, yeah, not himself as a preacher, he may not be preaching anymore now, but as a preacher, you always you are called for people. You understand that you are called for people, and this is what we're doing. We are called for people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't disagree with what you said because even on my part, like it saved me from a lot of things. This platform. I remember when I was hitting up Gebuza, no, I'm interested in this thing. I want to work with you. Then he called me to say, well, let's go over a lunch. The guy was tired, but he was able to run enough for another 10 minutes, and we talked. That one is like, no, I'm gonna give you a platform. Then Kitomo Bona, the passion behind you want to leave this thing so that you can give other people a chance. So I want to ask it more part in your education, because one thing that I've realized is that you are trying to cater all the platforms to say we want to touch religion, we want to touch sports, whereby we have Mr. Kwai.
Who's good, eh?
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
good.
Bontembo, yeah.
That's the dog.
Yeah.
And I think we also want to touch our entertainment. And then on my part, he told me that I want you to just drive the educational part. So from that part, you had what kind of vision in terms of the educational field as Mogalakwena TV?
When we spoke about Mogalakwena TV, we spoke about, especially education part of it. There's so much educated people. There's so much academics who are coming from around, from Mogalakwena, from Mokopane. And when we spoke in our first meeting, when we sat down and spoke, I said to him, there's people that we need to bring on board. You have Professor Tefo, you have Professor Manoleka, and we cannot mention all the academics that are here, but we have Dr. Koketsu Tsebe, Kike cousin Yabo Captain, who grew up Mopela Matwaren, and she's doing great. Koketsu, we celebrate you, and we have the list is endless. We have so many people by Longore, they are here, and they're pushing Tabaya education and academics. We had Fonia Maloba here, and we hosted her, who is a very good friend, and she's a friend, she's a comrade. She knows what I like her.
Yeah, that one, she speaks her mind.
Yeah, and we have you as well, one understand. So when it comes to issue of education, we want to do more. We want to collect as many sanitary towels as possible. We want to collect as many shoes as possible. We want to raise funds for bursaries. We want to bring institutions of higher learning on board. We want to bring the who's who. I have friends who can bring me other people. I know I have a friend who can when he has time he will be able to bring us deputy minister of higher education. Deputy Minister of Higher Education, Manamela. There's a guy I can just give him a call and he will be able to do that. Not that we're breaking about it, but we're saying There's teachers that we want to celebrate. There's
Yeah.
100% that we want to celebrate.
true.
There's teachers who are doing well. We want to bring in Bo Sean Tlatswayo.
Yeah.
We want to bring in Bo Gracie. We want to bring in Mpodegashu. Mpodegashu is doing well. He's my sister's son. We want to bring in veterans, retired teachers who continue to contribute in the well-being and in the educational sector. So these are guys that we want to bring on board. We want to have a platform where young people will come here and we give them access to the Wi-Fi that we have, and we help them to apply, and we help them to continue studying. And we want to go out when we have helped one or two. We want to go when they graduate and run around with the camera and celebrate them, because I rata dilo, waban. So we want to go and celebrate with people and enjoy it. So yeah, we are rooting for education. That is why in everything that we do, you will find education. In the business talks that we have, you will find education. In what Dikwa is doing, you will find education, because Dikwa is teaching a few young and upcoming commentators. And this is the education part of it. You come here, there's people but they're behind the camera, and there's this education part of it. You understand? Or no, do this, do that. And when you have experienced this, when you come here, that this is what I know, and we always we share meals, we share ideas, we share opinions. So this is, if you're going to talk about education, we're not only talking about it from your formal education. When we had Lisiba Kekana Mabane, and it's part of education and how he has learned things that he is doing. When we had Mancha, she's selling product. When we had Rami yesterday, who is selling things. There's so much education in it. I think we are centered around, as we are media, but we are centered around education.
Why I asked that question is because of I engage with a lot of teachers to say, hey, bro, this is the idea, like selling this thing to them, or no, I want you to come on my show, but they are always scared because of out there we have other media outlets by Longore, they are doing the very same thing, but I would love to say in a partial negative way. So people tend to be scared. So that's why we are on spot to say, can you please just explain to them, or this is what you do. And it's not only about the formal education. What we are trying to do is to take those kids by Longore, they are on the internet and they feel rejected because of internet is always full with Longore, maybe we'll call them negative trending things. So when I tell them to say, no, this is the show that I'm having, and I want you guys to come there and make me to help me or to unlearn this thing, to say it doesn't mean that when you're having a mic, it doesn't mean that when I'm having a camera I must go live and shout to other people what they call the campaign, whatever. So I wanted to ask, or why is it like most of us who are within, I will call them the ideal professions, like career exhibition. You'll always find a table there. They will say, if you want to be a doctor, go that side. If you want to be a nurse, go that side. If you want to be like all those traditional careers. So I want to know, why is it, or is it because of they are scared to cut away at the media because they don't love being on camera? They always think these ones are going to butcher me. These ones are going to ask me some other things. Dear trend teacher, so we are not only about the formal education. So if you bring such people, they will be able to share their own views to say, this is what maybe for example, bullying, some other person might come, or no, this is how I deal with it. Then in that way, I feel like we will be able to take those learners or those kids where they feel outlined, or in terms of the sideline is the correct word is there. Plus it's so I was always fascinated about this thing. Or can we just be together, and where those kids are, let us go there and if ever I will use the correct word, make them unlearn those things they think this is cool. Re nna nka no tshwara camera ka khumana million views for roga Belvy K, this is cool. So my mission was within that point. So we can clarify just explain to them to say this is not a platform where we care. We come here to make people feel negative. This is not we might laugh, we have jokes, but we need to understand that our vision is educating people.
Yeah, and I think that is why when you speak about education, there is so much good that is happening more Mukopane.
Yeah.
That is why you go on Facebook, there's always someone, influencers, they will always be saying something negative ka Mukopane. And most of the things are not true. And unfortunately, you will find people but they have the platform to speak. They will not speak positive because I nearly cursed and I remembered somebody saying we should not. But there is so much nonsense that is being said and it is selling. And when we want our kids to unlearn, let us then feed them positivity. Let us feed them, let us not feed them junk. Because if it is only junk that is available, and not only for our kids, it's for everyone.
Yes.
Who understand? So when there is too much junk, people will consume it because what is healthy, what is good for them, it is not there, doesn't exist. Who understand? And there is a platform here also on Mogalakwena TV that will come out and say and maybe people would be saying what is scoops of Omongozi. We understand that we don't know the gossip, the current gossip. We are not about that. We really are not about that. Well, and that is why we will not come on this platform and insult people.
Yeah.
Of course, there's some people they will feel insulted by certain things that we say and do, but we are not here to insult people. Understand that? We are not here to undermine anyone, but we are saying we are here to breathe life. We are here to say there is so much good that is happening in this town, and with when you talk about people not being willing to come here, there's some people a bit skeptic about it, about what we are doing, and of course there's some people who do not know. I said we're about to reach 4K, which is a very small number. So we need to do more to create awareness. When you come, when you want to check out something that will benefit you, look at us. And yeah, we have seen the shows that I personally follow, and sorry, you will not hear even one cursing word, and you live after watching the show. You have learned so much, and there's people who are hungry to learn. And we provide that. So if you are saying education, we are, I think this TV station is anchored on issue of education.
Yeah. So in closing, before we close it off officially, I just want to know if ever I'm a kid and playing Mogalakwena.
Yeah.
I'm watching Mogalakwena TV, but I lost faith in education. Ke mantswe a mafeng a motivation e leng gore le ka botša that child, be it a she or a he.
I think people are motivated by different things.
Okay.
Issue of education or issue of motivation and encouragement to say wakawatera and you need to do something. Remember, education, or when you want to succeed, you are encouraged by a few things, and I will name a few. you are motivated by your situation. So there's people who went to school because it is their only way out. And when you spoke to Fonia, she spoke about it as well, to say that this was the only way out for her. So you look at your life, this is the only way out for you. And if you really want to go to school because your grades are not that good, go and upgrade. You can upgrade and you can go on YouTube and go to class. There's good teachers, they will teach you almost everything that you want to learn. When you have education, unfortunately, no one will be able to take it away from you. When you have education, when you have education, you will be able to be independent. You know, it is empowering, it is encouraging when you have that. If you want to go back to school, go back to school. You have kids, go back to school. You will not believe it. I did my matric. I was 23 when I was doing my matric. So it is possible for anyone to go and study regardless of age. They will not do anything to you. And I read something in the morning. It is on our Facebook page that whether you're doing anything or more, people will not like it, and people will always criticize you, but do it anyway. If you want to go back to school, go back to school. My sisters, if ona lebana, go back to school. When I was speaking Kotafukopa, I had a guy who went to school, Anale 23, he was doing grade 9. And he went on and completed his matric. And when I left, he was studying course, yes, Balo. So with education, you can always go back to school. Even if you're working, go back to school. It is possible for you to go to school. Don't be discouraged by what people are saying.
No, Mr. Ntini, we thank you for this wonderful conversation. I hope the viewers out there, they were inspired about the way you were speaking. Because now I'm excited to say you can level up from a distance. But I'm one guy when someone speaks, as much as Kekwa the voice, I also try to reflect the mind. This guy is powerful. So I feel like there's more that you can tell us, but because of time,
I can limits.
And I told them, no, I need 2 hours here, but we will sort it out. So without any waste of time,
this production team, by the way, they are very strict.
Hey, they told me, oh, no, you're flowing too much. You must make it a point that we cut it, but we'll make it a point or we restructure it, maybe have a time but we can give them more information.
Talk to management.
I will speak with my management and make it a point or really bring up. From me, Morana Kabolena, I was inspired by Donald Dee. I hope you are also inspired. Molo Honorable Relegi. Thank you for watching Mogalakwena TV. Don't forget to press the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. You are also on YouTube under Mogalakwena TV. All the platforms, just search Mogalakwena TV. And you were watching the conversation with Belvy K. See you. Stabona kusasa. We need that sound. Like you always say.